Do you miss the snow? My granny would just look at me and say, I didn't see snow until I was 10 years old. It's 110 in Georgia in the summer. I wondered what our lives would have been like if we weren't hiding out. This is Barrow, Alaska. These are the Inupiaq. This is what my grandmother's life would have been. This is their art. This is my art. This is a side of my family that no one notices because I look white, which is exactly what she wanted. My great-grandfather worked for the railroad, then Coca-Cola. This is a polar bear. It's cute. This is a real polar bear. Less cute. When people hear I'm from Georgia, they think Atlanta, this big sprawling city. And they think that's why I'm into the arts, that I grew up in this culturally progressive family. I'm from Omega. Its population is 200. This is the town now. That is an alligator. My grandparents moved there after someone threw a rock and a note through a window that said nigger lover, because she wasn't wide enough. I think about time and space and all the things that go into the serendipitous aligning of random chaos theory that makes a person's DNA, and all of the things that are brought to them and that make the person who they are, and what made me me, and these nomadic Arctic people of Asian descent, and then these other people coming together to make this crazy little fetus me. And then there's this side of the family. They're tricky. There's a lot going on here. My grandmother was from Germany, a Jew, and my grandfather was a Sephardic Turkish Jew living in Kiev. These are my ancestors. These are the people who worked their lives and whose fortune was spent getting the few of their descendants out of Europe to America. This is my grandfather. He worked as a translator in the Korean War. He was a cabaret performer before that, worked in the circus. He ran away from Stalin and ran from Kiev to Berlin, a place of sexual liberation and freedom. A lot of my family ended up in Auschwitz because of this guy. These guys were assholes. It's hard growing up under the specter of the Holocaust. Your family never gets over it. No, you survive physically, but emotionally, it never, ever stops being the thing you don't talk about at dinner that everyone's really actually talking about. So they moved to Smiley, Texas. Seriously, Smiley, Texas. Population 453. And he was a secret bisexual. I found this out when I was 30 years old. My grandmother was dying. We had a terrible relationship. She wasn't nice. He had been in love with this man named Bill, a handsome football-playing cowboy. The three of them lived as a happy family unit. My dad was born. And then a car accident killed Bill. I love these pictures of my dad as a baby. Maybe that's why my grandmother was so bitter. A broken heart will do that to you. This is me. I take pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. And I make movies. I play in bands. And I sleep around a bit. That part's true. I think in my DNA sometimes I wonder if the ghosts of all the ones who didn't make it out are vying for attention. Begging for one more chance to do the things that they didn't get to do, or they weren't finished doing. This is Paris. Paris is one of my favorite places on Earth, but I still get distracted there. I wander around, but the shit in my head just keeps buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. I go there to work once a year, and I spend a lot of time just wandering around, wondering about little fetus me. I just wonder about the things that make me me, and the things that have led to this nomadic existence of wandering. I ran away. I'm still running now, running from shadows and ghosts and the things that make me me. I think this really all began with them. This all starts when an Eskimo left his village in Barrow in the 1930s to work for Coca-Cola. And he came to Atlanta, and he had too many kids, and he was a total cliche, and he was an alcoholic. And his kids got taken away and put into foster care. And someone adopted a little Inuit girl and raised her in a nice, subversive Jewish family. And she married a nice Jewish guy, and they had kids. And they got called race traitors and nigger lovers. And they joined a Christian cult and hid in the South. And I think about the Holocaust, and I think about hiding. I think about suburban bisexual swingers and hiding, and how all of these things coalesced into one random moment that made me.